Welcome to Rise Up Namibia. So in this video, we're going to be looking at adding and subtracting fractions by Nata, aka the resistor of bad and the lover of good, hashtag dark and lovely, underscore walk by faith and not by sight. So, example number 1, like denominators. So we have 1 over 5 plus 1 over 5. So what do we get? We get 2 over 5. Why? Because when we have like denominators, the denominator does not change. We only deal with numerators. And depending on the sign, like this is a plus sign, so we plus 1 by 1, which gives us 2. Denominator stays the same. Let's look at another example. So over here we have 3 over 2 plus 1 over 2 plus 1 over 2. We leave the denominator the same. We don't change it because it's already the same. We work with the numerator. So 3 plus 1 equals to 5 over 2. We go to the next example. 3 over 3 minus 1 over 3. So the denominator is still the same. So what we do is we say 3 minus 1 equals to 2 over 3. Okay? So let's look at the fourth example. 4 over 4 minus 2 over 4 minus 1 over 4. So we say 4 minus 2 minus 1 equals to 1 over 4. Denominator stays the same because they are all the same. Example number 2, unlike denominators. So what do we do in a case of unlike denominators? For example, something like this. So what we do is we make denominators the same. How do we make denominators the same? By using the LCM. The LCM, what is LCM? LCM is lowest common multiple. Okay? So, let's look at denominator 5. What are the multiples of 5? They are right here. What are the multiples of 10? Here they are. So now, what is the LCM, the lowest common multiple? It's 10. Good. So 10 being the lowest common multiple, it becomes the new denominator of both of them. So we have 1 times 2 over 10. How did we get this? So the 1 came from on top because we already had a 1 as a numerator. So we still have a 1 times 2. Where did the 2 come from? It came from the multiples of 5. So when we go to the multiples of 5, how many numbers did it take to get to the LCM, to the lowest common multiple? It took 1, 2. You understand? Now, because it took 1, 2, we will multiply whatever numerator that was there with 2. So here we have 1 times 1. Remember, the denominator becomes 10 because of the LCM. Because the LCM is 10. Now, 1 was already a numerator, so we look at how many numbers does it take in the multiples of 10 to get to the LCM, which is 10. It only took 1. Hence, we have 1 times 1. Good. So now we have 1 times 2 equals to 2 over 10. 1 times 1 equals to 1 over 10. So now, given that we have the same denominators, we only add the numerator. So what is 2 plus 1? It's 3 over 10. Good. And there you got your answer. So let's look at example number 3. Mixed numbers. So what do we do in a case where we have a number like this or a question like this, for example? So what we do is we change all mixed numbers into improper fractions. So let's look at this first part. I'm going to highlight the 2, and then I'm going to explain to you what to do. So multiply 2, which is the highlighted 2, by denominator 2, then add 3. So what we mean is we multiply this 2 by this 2, and then we add this 3. So what answer do we get? We get 7. Because when you say 2 times 2 equals to 4. 4 plus 3 equals to 7. The denominator stays the same. Okay? So we go to the next one. And remember, whatever sign you find there is what you put. You don't change the sign. So let's highlight that 2 again, and then step 2, multiply 2 by 3, then add 1. So we say this highlighted 2 times 3 plus 1 equals to what? 7. 7 over 3. Why is it over 3? Because 3 was the denominator. So the denominator does not change. Good. Let's look at the third part. We use the fraction the way it is. Okay? So we add it there. Now this part of this sum, what do we do from here? We make denominators the same. Now how do we make this fraction's denominators the same? By using the LCM. Let's start with 2. What's the multiples of 2? There they are. What's the multiples of 3? There they are. And then the multiples of 4, here they are. So now what is the LCM, the lowest common multiple? It's 12. Okay, now that it's given that it's 12, so we'll have 7 times 6 over 12. Remember, when it's 12, whatever LCM you get becomes the new denominator for all 3, or for all 4 or 2, whatever your sum is. It's like made up of. So now we have 7 times 6. Why is it 7 times 6? Because the 7 was already the numerator. Why is it times 6? Let's look at the multiples of 2. How many numbers does it take for it to get to the LCM? It takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hence the 7 is times by 6. So now let's look at the next one is 7 times 4. Why is it 7 times 4? Because 7 was already a numerator. Now why is it times 4? Let's go to the multiples of 3. How many numbers did it take to get to the LCM? 1, 2, 3, 4. Hence it's 7 times 4. Okay? So let's get to the third part. 1 times 3. Why is it 1 times 3? 1 was already a numerator, and 3, when we get to the multiples of 4, how many numbers did it take to get to the LCM? 1, 2, 3. So that's why it's 1 times 3. Okay, so 7 times 6 equals to 42. 7 times 4 equals to 28. 1 times 3 equals to 3. So your answer would be 73 over 12. Example number 4, mixed numbers. So what do you do again in a case like this? So what we do is we change all mixed numbers to improper fractions. So let's look at the first part again of this sum, or of this question. We highlight the 3, and then step number 1, multiply the highlighted 3 by the denominator 8, then add 5. So we say 3 times 8 plus 5. What do you get? You get 29 over 8. Remember, the denominator does not change. The second part. So the second part, we multiply the highlighted 2 by 3. Then we add 1. So this 2 times this 3 plus this 1. Remember, whatever sign you have, you don't change it. The sign stays the same. So it will be 7 over 3. The denominator stays the same. It does not change. From here, what do we do? To this part, we make denominators the same. How do we make the denominators the same? By using the lowest common multiple. So let's look at the multiples of 8. Here they are. The multiples of 3, there they are. So now, what is the lowest common multiple? It's 24. Okay. Now, given that 24 is the lowest common multiple, we get 29 times 3 over 24. Why is it 29 times 3? Let's look at the multiples of 8. How many numbers does it take to get to the LCM? 1, 2, 3. That's why it's 29, which was the numerator, times 3. Okay? So 7 times 8 divided by 24. Why is it 7 times 8? Because 7 was already a numerator, times 8. Let's look at the to get the 8, we look at the multiples of 3, which are here. How many numbers did it take for it to get to the LCM? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's why it's 7 times 8. And the denominator becomes the LCM. So 29 times 3 equals to 87. 7 times 8 equals to 56. So given that these numerators are the same, they are like numerators, we say 87 minus 56 equals to 31 over 24. So that's your answer. So these are extra examples that you can use to practice. For math, it's all about practicing. For practice makes perfect. Thank you very much for watching. Please do like, subscribe, turn on that notification button to be the first to see the next upload. Share with friends and family and classmates. And remember, together we rise to higher heights, and apart we all stay behind.